It's hard to put into words to see 100 really strangers that don't know us or our family take the time to come out and sing us Christmas carols and gather in our yard, to know that they were praying for us on this journey. It's humbling. I just realized, like, there's people that care about you.
3 years ago, someone came to me. I knew nothing about Best Christmas Ever. All right, someone came to me and said, "Father, I'm a captain for this Best Christmas Ever team. Would your church be willing to help us?"
I mean, between you and our parish and people on the outside, we've been able to raise in just a few weeks over $60,000 generosity. Probably another $20,000 or $30,000 in gifts.
Whether it's our senior citizens, whether it's families putting things together, and you see life and joy and confidence and all this hope, and it really brings our congregation alive and really gets us looking outside of our church walls.
There's a family tonight that's sitting in their home, probably eating dinner, and they have no clue that we're going to show up and bring them goodness and generosity.
There's not a lot of self-interest in doing something for someone you don't know. And for me to go to our congregation and say, "Hey, we're going to bless a family," they're not even from our church. And that is a huge, huge gift to our congregation.
When you have the opportunity to do good, do not let it go by.
2020 really for me started out in the end of 2019. My youngest brother had passed away of leukemia. This last June, our youngest daughter was diagnosed with a disease called Langerhans cell histiocytosis. It's her white blood cells that are basically attacking her bones, which cause the weakening of her vertebrae and cause the collapse. And so Nora has been, kind of the bookend of our family. She's probably been our child that has challenged us the most, which God sometimes has a sense of humor that way. I mean, she's just so full of life, and she brightens up the room anytime she comes in it. Just with what she's been dealing with has been an opportunity for us all to come together as a family and recognize that God is in control, that He's at work.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright.
And then you asked us how you could pray for us. And you made it a goal to run for 100 days, which ended today. And every day I asked people how. One day I reached out and I asked you how I could pray for you. And you told me that we could, of course, pray for Nora and your family. And you said that you just were trying to get through the winter with your vehicle and just for God's graces on you. And I did that. And I have been doing that. But sometimes when God blesses us, He just blesses us really big. And through this organization, we're blessing you pretty big.
So this, all right, is an opportunity for your family to go on a vacation at Giants Ridge.
To put into words the level of giving that was done and the compassion and grace shown to us, I still, as I think of it, it's the way that I'm wired, it's hard to receive gifts.
All right, we've raised, actually now this is bigger, $20,000 that you can use to get a new vehicle to bless your family with.
It was like we won the showcase showdown on The Price is Right. I mean, literally.
It's really an incredible gift for our church to collaborate with Best Christmas Ever. Our church has a team that comes together, and then we look through all the nominated families through Best Christmas Ever, and then we choose one of those families. And then that team starts working with people that know the family that we chose, and we start putting together a wish list, and we just dream of what we can do for this family. And then from there, we start raising funds, we start getting gifts, we start wrapping packages, and there's this momentum that just keeps building. They really want to make a generational impact on families. It's not just getting gifts, it's actually trying to do something that is going to literally change a family's life.
It's more than just one Christmas, it's kind of a lifetime blessing, and the desire for people to just give and stuff and spread joy and faith, through that gift.
The pride that you're just part of something that's so much bigger than yourself.
To be a part of Best Christmas Ever, God has really stirred in our hearts to be used however we can to help encourage others to come on board with something like that, to bless others.
Imagine what can take place if we had 100 churches doing this, if we had 200 churches doing this. Imagine the transformation that could take place across a whole state, a whole country.
Don Liebentinen here. Well, if you made it this far, I'd love to invite you in to the movement. Father Brandon had said that Best Christmas Ever was perfectly made for churches. It set just his whole congregation on fire, and he planted a seed and said, hey, what if we could take this to 100 or 200 churches? Imagine how that would change the world. So I'd love for you to bring this back to your church and to join our movement and be a part of our team. The best next step is to go to bcemovement.org, and we have an application on there. We'd love to have a conversation with you to see how this would look in your church. Thank you.